world surrounded by franchises, reboots, and shared universes. An elite team of podcasters will risk body and soul to investigate the depths of intellectual properties, one multiverse, subgenre, and trend at a time. Who are we? We're the IP Squad.
Welcome back to the IP Squad and our ongoing investigation into films based on the King Arthur legend. I'm John Campbell, of course, my partner for this investigation, Kinsey Campbell.
Hello.
Kinsey, we've reached the 1990s, specifically 1995, and we're in an era where this is the first one of these that I remember coming out. I remember seeing this movie. I was looking at the box office of this year, and I would say this is one of the first years that I was really, cognizant as a film fan. So I was 6, but a lot of these movies made big impressions on me. That looking at the top box office of this year, there's a lot of great movies in 1995, and I think it was one of the first times I was really paying attention to what was coming out. Like one of the first years I was excited for the summer movie slate. So, including this movie, which I, like I said, didn't see in the theater, but do distinctly remember to take you kids back to a time when a Saturday night movie premiere on HBO and watching, They used to, on HBO, you used to have to wait for Saturday night at 8 p.m. and they would premiere a new movie.
And I was saying, I always liked the opening to HBO.
Right, when it went through the little miniature town.
You went to this little town, and then it would say HBO. And I specifically remember that playing. Yeah, that playing before the movie would start. And I always really loved that.
Yeah.
They obviously don't do that anymore.
No, they do. I don't know. I don't actually know what they do.
Not really.
No, it was a whole to-do.
On the channel a long time.
Yeah, it was a whole to-do, though. But yeah, this is 1995's First Night from director Jerry Zucker. And
yeah, this movie... Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, this movie is frustrating to me.
Okay.
Because there are parts of it that I really like and I think work really well, and then there are parts of it that don't work at all. And so it's frustrating.
Yeah. I think that's fair.
I want to like it more than I do, because there are parts where I'm like, that was great. And then there are parts where I'm like, oh man, it has slowed and it's boring now. It's just frustrating.
It's an interesting movie in that, I would say this is the biggest production we've seen. Maybe Camelot counts, but that was doing something different because that was a old musical.
It definitely feels the biggest. You really get a sense of Arthur does have this army, because you see it. You see he has all of these soldiers. We're spending a lot of time in Camelot, which is big and beautiful and grand. Mm-hmm. So it must be the biggest production.
I mean, it's got the gloss of a 90s blockbuster movie. This is a big studio, handsome
you can feel
picture.
That. Yeah, they spent money on this thing.
Yeah, it's a $55 million budget, which certainly in 95 was a lot more than it would be. Now that'd be mid-tier. Yeah. But back then, this was definitely a big budget movie. And they filmed in England and Wales. And there's
beautiful.
Yeah, there's some incredible countryside. I think the cinematography is really good here. I think the production design is really good here. I really think the thing that falters this movie is the script and one of the main actors.
Yeah, those are definitely
those are the two things that are really. This thing needed another pass on the script for sure.
Yes, it that would have helped a lot.
And
to kind of work out the kinks.
And I mean, it's it's like beating a dead horse. That was the big take at the time was that Richard Gere is just the wrong guy to play Lancelot.
He just doesn't fit.
Yeah.
He doesn't fit this time period. He doesn't fit the role of a, Han Solo type rogue.
Mm-hmm.
It just it doesn't work. Yeah, he can't. He's trying to do an accent sometimes, but very rarely. It's like sometimes a word he says with an accent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he just, the second he enters screen, you're like, this just doesn't feel right. He feels very modern, and it doesn't work.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like I said, so much was written at the time bashing his performance that I'm like, and it's not, he's playing it as well as he can, and I think Richard Gere's a good actor who I've liked in several other movies, but yeah, he's just a weird fit here.
I mean, it's come up in other reviews for other movies we've watched.
Yes, that it's like, oh, at least he's not Richard Gere. Yeah, it's and it's
sort of always.
Yeah,
we were getting.
He's miscast. Like I said, I don't want to bag too much on Gere specifically, but
he was an odd choice.
He was a strange choice for this. Very American, very modern. His half-committed British accent. I mean, I think at the time it was not that long after Costner as Robin Hood, who got a lot of the same, ire.
Yeah, it's weird. It's like words with O's in them.
Yeah.
Or he'll like say with a British accent.
Yeah, he'll hit some of the your vowels and stuff like that.
Yeah, he'll do with an accent.
But it also kind of feels like he's like, I don't know. Is that honestly? We talked about it would have been better if he hadn't even tried.
It would have been like, just don't. If you can't do it, if you're not going to do it, then let's just not.
Yeah, I mean that's eventually the Costner. At a certain point, he just gives up. So it's some scenes, and then in other scenes, it's just like, I don't know, I can't do it.
Yeah, so let's just not.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Accept it.
It doesn't really matter. One of the interesting things about this, though, is because I was going to say, similar to both Robin Hood and King Arthur, they should be British, or in this case, actually, Lancelot should be French. And we still have never. I bring this up. We've still never seen a Frenchman, and I don't think we ever will. See a Frenchman. We only have two movies left, and only one of them even has Lancelot in it. So
that's true, and I don't think he does a French accent.
I'm certain he doesn't. But the thing about it is, I'm going to say, is like these aren't real figures, right? These are sort of mythic, legendary tales. But that brings us to an interesting thing about this movie, which is this movie is very grounded.
Yeah, there is no magic at all in this.
This is a very
or Merlin, anything like that.
No, yeah, this is very historically based for a thing that obviously isn't actual history, or at least not exactly. I said there's always this debate about, like, there are guys that were like Arthur, they probably took influence from real figures. Next week's movie will try to make that concrete in a way where it's like, no, this is the real guy. And we'll talk about how. Yeah, well, we'll talk about whether or not that's really the case. So I do think that's an interesting thing about this movie. This really is a stripped down medieval adventure romance or a political thriller.
Yeah, it's a little bit of all of that. There's palace intrigue and romance and fighting and battle.
That may be part of the problem, though, is maybe the movie would have been better off picking a lane.
The political thriller stuff and the palace intrigue stuff, that was more the better part of the movie.
Because when the movie starts, we get this opening crawl that basically is just like, okay, this is pretty much after every Arthur story you've seen, right? Arthur is definitively the king. Mm-hmm. He's won the wars. And he's ruling Camelot and everything's great except for this one guy who thinks he should be the king. And that,
like, most trusted knight has now decided that he wants to rule.
And that's Malagant, played by Ben Cross.
Yeah.
This leads us to an interesting thing about this, which is we've talked about pretty much everything we've watched this season has been either based on Once and Future King or on Le Morte d'Arthur. This one is pulling from a different source, which is Chrétien de Troyes. Chrétien de Troyes. Chrétien de Troyes. I don't know. Anyway, he's a French poet from the 1100s.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was tricky.
And specifically his Tales of Lancelot. He wrote a lot of Arthurian legend stuff, but he specifically wrote something called Lancelot the Knight of the Cart, and Malagant is the villain in that. So this is not, because people were like, oh, so you just didn't want to do Mordred. It's like, no, they're actually pulling a villain from a different source. So that's why some of this is different.
It was definitely different.
Yeah.
Or a lot of pieces of it were different than what we've seen.
I mean, and even reading about this is not an exact adaptation of that, but it does seem like they're pulling more from that apparently. And so yeah, so you have this guy who I actually think it's kind of an interesting idea of a guy who wants to. The only thing is the movie just doesn't have the space to make him anything more than a cackling supervillain.
That is all he is. He's just evil, and he's going from village to village and burning it down.
Yeah, I
and
mean,
killing people.
he's basically like a terrorist, right? Like this idea about he just keeps causing chaos and he keeps destroying these villages until Arthur will cede the throne to him.
Yes.
Because that's
He's
how the movie
just,
opens.
I'll
I mean,
wipe everybody out.
the opening scene of the movie is an attack on this village where Lancelot happens to be.
Yeah, Lancelot in this is not what we've seen him in other things, where usually he's just a knight from a different village or town.
Yeah, the plot
In
description
this,
on Wikipedia describes him as a vagabond.
Yeah, he's just he doesn't have a home. He's just wandering from village to village, and he's a very good swordsman, and so he's fighting people in these towns and getting money doing that.
Yeah, I mean, you brought up the Han Solo. He's very Han Solo-y. This is very much like traveling rogue Lancelot, which is considerably different than the classy nobleman that we've seen in so many other versions.
It's very, he doesn't have, shiny armor in this. He's just kind of a guy, and he's got a sword, and
I mean,
he's living out in the woods.
He makes it expressly clear he's not a knight. This is no knight.
He's not a knight.
He's just a badass.
He doesn't want any.
He's a professional badass.
So much of this movie is just, I'm a badass.
Yeah.
And
it feels
annoying.
It feels a little performative. It feels performative though, right? You don't he doesn't show up and you're like, that guy's badass. You're like, oh, this guy's trying to make me think he's a badass.
Yes. The movie so badly wants you to go like, damn, he's cool.
Yeah. It's a problem here for sure, especially with the route the movie goes, with the his and Guinevere's relationship is a little.
Oh boy.
But yeah, we immediately see him and his ability with a sword.
He's very good at a sword, and he's very good at flinging swords into the air and catching them.
Yeah, that's the big move here, where it's like, how are you going to win a sword fight without a sword? Ah, ha, ha.
Yeah. Yeah. That's his big move.
So this village is attacked.
Yes.
And the whole thing is that when we go to so that sets up this whole idea about they're raiding these local villages, and Guinevere, because her father has died recently.
We should say that it's Rob Brydon's village.
Yes, it's comedian Rob Brydon is there.
Comedian Rob Brydon is there.
Yeah. Man, I don't even know if he's listed in the cast here.
Probably not.
He's like frightened villager number 3.
Shouts a couple things, and you see him a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I
Manning Crowd is who Rob Brydon plays in this movie.
yeah, yeah.
But it stands
If
out. There's a couple of
and it makes,
couple of guys in this movie where you're like, I know that guy.
I mean, it makes sense once I saw like, oh, they filmed it in Wales.
Yeah.
And he's Welsh. That's
Yeah.
probably around. But yeah, his village gets burned.
Yeah. He doesn't do anything, but it is interesting because we recognized him.
Yes.
He didn't do
He's
any impressions.
easy to spot.
Yeah.
He didn't. Sadly, there's no impression.
He did no impressions, and Steve Coogan never showed up, so it's a bummer. But
no, so that was disappointing.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't like it.
Yeah. That was the big problem. Where's Coogan? Everyone should be asking, where's Steve Coogan?
Yeah.
But so so we go to Guinevere, who's been handed the leadership role of her village, I guess, town. I don't know. Let's see, ruler of Lionessy. Lionessy? She's and the big thing here is she's going to go marry King Arthur, which will grant the protection of Camelot for their village from Malagant.
Yeah, because she's been taking in villagers whose towns have been burned down.
So they know it's only a matter of time till they draw the attention of Malagant and his raiders.
Yeah, they can see that coming.
So it's like, we're going to preemptively, cut that off of the past by having her become queen of Camelot. And then that will give us the security and protection of Camelot.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah. But of course, on her way to Camelot, she is seized upon by Malagant and his troop and his right-hand man, Ralph Ineson.
Yes. Yep. He's in this movie throughout.
Yeah, he's around, and he's just a threatening bad guy.
And then we have, I would say, Arthur's main knight is Liam Cunningham.
Yeah, Sir Agravain.
Yeah. He's the one who we sort of see interact the most with Arthur, and he's out here as well, getting Guinevere Camelot.
I think it's interesting that anytime you see like the Knights of the Round Table, it's like Agravain kind of just is the one who speaks for the whole table. Like, he talks way more than all the other knights.
He seems to be the spokesman for the Knights of the Round Table.
Because like, I'm looking at like, they all have names, all the knights, but I'm like, yeah, like one of these guys was Gawain. Who and when, and it doesn't matter.
I don't think they ever say that name.
Like Sir Patrice, Sir Medor, Sir Gawain, Sir Sagramore, Sir Tor, Sir Carados.
No.
I don't know. None of them matter.
There's a group of knights, the knights that are at the Round Table, that we see throughout the movie, but most of them don't speak or have very few lines.
Yeah, I mean, we recognize Alexis Denisov from Buffy.
Alexis Denisov, you see...
But his character's name is, where was this? Sir Gaheris. Where?
Yeah, no one ever says that. And I think he has maybe one line.
Yes, and I think it's the same line they all have, which is when they're all pledging their loyalty, or they're bringing Lancelot into the Brotherhood. They're making him a knight of the Round Table later, and you're like, okay, yeah, it's just very interesting. There's a lot of people in this movie, but there are actually not that many speaking roles.
Very few.
Yeah.
For the amount of people, because I mean, there's so many people in this movie.
The big thing this movie,
screen is...
because let's talk about this assault on the caravan that's carrying Guinevere. One of the big things this movie is really into is crossbows, and specifically like crossbow pistols.
So many crossbows.
Yeah.
So many people get killed by being shot with crossbows. And little crossbows.
It's a big thing in this movie that they basically... I really do think this is like a 90s action movie thing where they're like, we want to have guns in this movie.
It had to have been. Like, the bad guys need to have guns. How can we give them those?
So, because you can have these scenes, like this scene where they're all the bad guys are on horseback and they're trying to cut off this caravan of carriages. And you can have them on horseback shooting arrows, from their crossbows at the caravan and stuff like that. Yeah, it's very... There's a lot of and the arrows going into people or things or whatever. It's very interesting. It's cool. I'm sure somebody would be like, "Hey, those didn't exist" or whatever. I don't know.
Oh,
The
I'm
movie,
sure someone's.
I mean, the movie
already
never
typing.
states anything about what year it is exactly, or it's all just vaguely medieval, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I don't.
think,
Yeah, it doesn't give a year. So why not have?
yeah, I mean, I think that's.
crossbow gun?
I like that. I think that's cool. I think I think the action is pretty good in this movie for the most part.
I don't have issues with the action in this movie. I think the action works well, and there's some really cool shots.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, is there are moments in this movie where it really feels like, wow, that is the most epic vision I've seen of King Arthur, and then then it goes on to other stuff.
Yeah. Then we cut to Lancelot and Guinevere, and you're like,
I mean, this movie was shot by Adam Greenberg, the cinematographer who shot the first two Terminator movies, and Turner and Hooch, of course. He shot My Beloved Near Dark, which is a great movie, a very stylized.
That's a great movie.
That's all interesting, though. I will say all of those are so much more stylized than this movie. But he shot
Way more stylized.
He shot Ghost, which is Jerry Zucker, who directed Ghost before this.
Okay. Got it. That
Now,
makes sense.
Jerry Zucker, I want to bring up for a second, though, because it's very interesting. Though he did direct the path from Ghost to this makes sense, but prior to Ghost, he was part of Zaz, Z-A-Z, which is Zucker, Abrams Zucker, the guys who made Airplane and Naked Gun and Top Secret.
Oh.
Yeah.
That is an interesting path, because those aren't similar at all.
No, he directs Airplane, Top Secret, Ruthless People, which is a Danny DeVito, but it's a comedy, and then Ghost. And Ghost was sort of him being like, I want to make like a real movie. And that was obviously huge.
Oh my gosh, Ghost was a massive success.
And then I think he made this off of the success of Ghost. Then he makes this. This movie doesn't do as well, and he only directs one more movie, which is, do you remember Rat Race in 2001?
That sounds
It was a big ensemble comedy with like Rowan Atkinson and John Cleese and Cuba Gooding Jr. It's all about, it was sort of a modern It's a Mad, 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 Mad World, kind of like where everybody's all these comedic characters are racing to get money. It didn't make much of an impression, and he has not directed since. Instead, he just spends all of his time bitching about the Liam Neeson Naked Gun.
Oh no! Come on, man.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. Shit
You
talking.
could do.
Shit talking Seth
You could
MacFarlane in the press. You know, like it's.
Oh my gosh.
He's.
You could.
He's kind of a. He's become a bit
better with your time.
He's become a little problematic, if I'm not mistaken. I don't want to immediately, but I believe he. I think he's gone a little right wing. I don't want to say that if that's not accurate.
We want to fact check things.
Yeah, I feel like that's true though.
We get sued.
Anyway, yeah. Yeah, he is. He's an outspoken Hollywood Republican.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well.
So yeah.
Can't get sued if we fact checked it.
Yeah. Oh no, wait. Sorry, I think it's David Zucker. Maybe. Sorry.
Oops.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Now we're in.
That's right. It's his brother. Sorry, it's the other Zucker.
Oops. We take it back.
Yeah.
Take it back.
But I think he is the one that's been. Let me make sure he's the one that's been shit talking.
Oh no.
Because I'm pretty sure it is though.
About...
I'm pretty sure it is. It is him that's been. Have I been?
Oh no, we're gonna be in big trouble.
Oh yeah, no, sorry, it is the other. The other one is the shitty one. Sorry.
No, we really stepped in it.
That's my bad. Let's stop the comments before anything. Jerry Zucker's fine. It's David Zucker who's been kind of a dick about stuff. Jerry Zucker doesn't say anything.
Uh-oh.
Sorry, it's the other Zucker. David Zucker can go to hell. Because David Zucker made that conservative spoof version of Christmas Carol. Do you remember this? where Michael Moore gets
I
visited
think
by like conservative American icons. Oh, it's terrible.
Oh, that can't be good.
No, it's terrible.
That sounds real bad.
Kelsey Grammer's in it, which will not surprise you at all.
No, it doesn't.
Anyway,
I
sorry.
wonder-
Back to this movie. Sorry,
Well-
I apologize to Jerry Zucker. That's my
sorry.
bad. Jerry Zucker's totally cool,
fixed
man.
We fixed it.
Yeah, I'm still gonna
Whoops.
have criticism of this movie. The one thing I will not have criticism of this movie, and the best thing in this movie, is Sean Connery as King Arthur.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, I mean he's
Without question.
almost good enough to recommend watching the movie. I mean, like his performance is so good, it's almost worth watching the movie just to see Sean Connery's King Arthur. Because we've never really had like a King Arthur with this level of like, oh, that dude is the king.
Yes, he's fantastic. You completely buy it as a guy who has led soldiers into war,
Mm-hmm.
but you also buy him as a king that his people can respect.
Yeah,
He's so good in it.
yeah, he's
Like,
very
he's
very
so
good in.
perfect.
That it's a bummer that the movie around him isn't better because he's just killing it.
Yeah.
The introduction scene of him is amazing when you have all these knights and they all part and they put up the torches and it all makes this line, like this tunnel that just leads to Connery.
Yeah, it's night, and it's the coolest introduction we've ever seen of Arthur.
Yeah.
Because
Is he-
Arthur doesn't usually get a very cool introduction.
No,
It's not that interesting.
And it's noted in the-
Lancelot something.
yeah, it's
Not
noted in the
Arthur.
trivia that he shows up a half hour in the movie despite having first billing, but when he shows up, he does. It's like, oh, that is a movie star in this movie.
Yeah, you've been waiting for that.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
You're like, where's Arthur?
Especially if you're me, who's obsessed with Sean Connery, and even as a kid, I would have been like, "Ooh, it's Sean Connery in First Night," more than it just being a night movie. I loved, Connery has always been one of my main actors.
Yeah, I'm not surprised you wanted to watch this
Yeah.
when it came on HBO because Sean Connery was in it.
I remember watching Medicine Man, which is boring as hell
Oh,
because he was in it. Medicine Man is terrible.
the score is good
To Medicine
for
Man?
Medicine Man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's interesting you mentioned that because you know who did the score for Medicine Man?
who did the score?
Jerry Goldsmith, who ended up doing the score for
Oh.
this movie.
And this movie has a great score.
This
Very
movie
beautiful.
has a great
Very epic.
score, despite the fact that Jerry Goldsmith came in at the absolute last minute on this thing. Because he was hired at the last minute as replacement because, the other guy turned it down. He was only going to have 4 weeks to do it, and he said no. And so Goldsmith apparently had 3.5 days to record the entire score.
I don't know how he did that.
Yeah, because it's very good, and
Made-
like it's one of the things that's mentioned as a positive in a lot of the reviews.
as it should be.
Yeah.
And I don't know how he did that.
He just turned this thing
that
around,
is-
man.
Yeah, and I mean it's an amazing score.
It's
and
very good. Yeah,
I thought that he did that.
it's crazy. Yeah, that he was able to do that, and to deliver something fantastic. I mean, Jerry Goldsmith is one of the great film composers. Obviously, his credits are limitless. I mean, it's insane how many there are of it. I mean, it very famously did the Star Trek movie theme that ended up becoming the Next Generation theme, not the original series theme. That was Alexander Courage, but he did a lot of the Star Trek movies. My favorite score from Star Trek is him, which is Star Trek First Contact. I love that score.
That is a nice score.
But yeah, he's he did. I think he did all of the Picard movies. But yeah, I mean, just tons of incredible scores. He did Mulan, which I know is a movie you love. He did the Mulan score.
Oh,
Yeah,
I love Mulan.
I love his L.A. Confidential score. I love his Air Force One score, which is amazing.
Oh, that's a great one.
Yeah, his Shadow. He did the Shadow, which I think is an amazing. I mean, once again, there's so many. Oh, Rambo. He did Rambo, which I love. He did all the Rambo movies.
It's become a Jerry Goldsmith podcast.
Yeah, I mean, he did Alien. It's
Jeez.
yeah, yeah. I mean, because that's the thing. The guy was around forever too. I mean, he goes back to Planet of the Apes is an amazing score he did.
Oh wow.
So it's the guy's amazing. So it's and he could just this was like, yeah, all right, here you go. Here's your first night score.
Yeah. Wow.
Pretty incredible.
Impressive.
Very impressive guy. And yeah, one of the highlights of the movie. Yeah, I just wish. That's the thing that is when you talk about you're frustrated by this movie. It's kind of a frustrating experience because like so many of the pieces are there. This this could have been like the biggest and best King Arthur movie, but instead it kind of you want this level of production, but with the scope of Excalibur, right?
Yeah.
Because that's the thing.
That is what you want, and it just doesn't. It doesn't get there.
Because once we get everybody in Camelot, the movie kind of hits the brakes.
It slows way down.
Yeah, because it's like we got this. We introduce Lancelot. We get this big chase scene. We get everybody to Camelot. We get this awesome introduction of King Arthur, and then it's just kind of like everybody's just kind of standing around until Guinevere gets captured.
Yeah. This Guinevere.
We should mention we haven't mentioned she's played by Julia Ormond.
Julia Ormond, who is in one of my all-time favorite movies, Sabrina.
She came out the same year. She had both of these in 1995.
Wow.
No, this was like a thing where she showed up and instantly it was just like, oh, here's the new like leading lady. She's gonna be the new big thing, and that kind of didn't happen. Good. I think she's good here. It's the script that lets her down. And I think she's a good choice for this. But yeah.
I'm frustrated by the way Guinevere's written because when she's introduced, I was like, oh, this is great because she is like leading her people and she has ideas for how to keep people safe and she's really involved in things. And then when she's getting chased in the woods, she makes a plan to get her handmaidens safe and gets them, out of this runaway carriage.
Mm-hmm.
And then we kind of get to Camelot, and she is involved in things in Camelot. She's sitting in on meetings with Arthur, which I liked, and he's involving her in like his interactions with the villain.
Mm-hmm.
But then it just kind of again gets into who am I gonna love, and she's getting captured and she's trapped in a cave, and then all of that sort of interesting stuff about her kind of just goes away for like the rest of the film. And so I was like, damn, like you had something there, but then no, it just falls into the things it always falls into, which is who do I love? And
that's sort of the thing is it doesn't.
It's kind of a bummer.
The Lancelot, Guinevere, Arthur love triangle isn't super well developed here, and it's sort of the thing where it's like it's kind of why they hired a Gere, right, who was known as a romantic lead, and so I feel like it's sort of he's meant to smolder, but that's kind of all he does.
Yeah. He pretty much only smolders.
You also got to keep in mind at this point he's a tabloid regular because of his marriage to Cindy Crawford at this point.
Oh man, I forgot about that.
Yeah, in fact, there's a funny thing in the trivia that like when they were during the filming of this movie, they came out and they're like, the rumors of our splitting up are totally false, and then they got divorced right after this movie was out. Like, so yeah.
Oh dear. I guess maybe they weren't false.
But anyway, yeah. So that was this was prime, Gere's everywhere in the press at this point because he's in a high profile relationship.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just, I don't know. I found him annoying a lot because he's just basically like, you find me attractive, right? I can tell that you find me attractive.
Yeah, he does have.
And I'm like, ugh.
He does have that moment.
An eye roll.
He does have that moment where he's just like, I can tell what you feel about me.
I hated it. It's just like, ugh, gross.
I can always tell when a woman wants me,
Yeah. Didn't like it.
Yeah.
Did not like it.
It's a little bit of it doesn't quite work. Now, I don't know if this movie would have been any better had that, because apparently they really sought out. We talked about this off mic, but they really sought out Mel Gibson was who they were really trying to get for Lancelot.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised to hear that.
He
Because
feels like
this is
the choice that would make, and it's very interesting that actually he didn't do this to instead direct and star in a considerably better medieval action movie, which is Braveheart.
yeah, I mean that was probably a good call.
I mean, and that was his. That was like a thing he developed and was a dream project of his.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
And actually,
But,
Connery
I mean,
chose this over being. Gibson wanted Connery in Braveheart, but
so these movies were very connected.
well, because
I
they
had no
were
idea.
both big historical epic, sword movies coming out at the same time. But one of them wins Best
I
Picture.
get why they want Mel Gibson, because this is a very like Riggs like Lancelot.
Yeah, I still don't know if
they definitely wanted that attitude for Lancelot.
Sure. Yeah, we mentioned Han Solo. Riggs definitely comes to mind too, though. Yeah, or Mad Max. I mean, he played these roguish guys.
No, so I get why they would think of him for this.
Yeah, I still don't think it would have solved any of the problems with the script, obviously.
No, because unlike those characters, this isn't really a character. Like, there's not much to him.
No, it's a fairly flat, boring part. And the romance scenes are death in this thing. I gotta say,
they don't work. They do not have chemistry.
No, they really don't.
So that hurts it a lot. And the scenes, there's just like no depth to them. It is just basically like, I'm attracted, you're attractive. Don't we like each other?
Well, I don't think they have chemistry, and I don't think Gere and Connery have chemistry to build the friendship between Arthur and Lancelot that's supposed to be so important.
Yeah, that doesn't work either. So all these big relationships don't really work. I actually think Guinevere and Arthur do have chemistry.
Well, yeah, Sean Connery had chemistry with everybody.
Yeah. And I really liked this Arthur, and I really liked his relationship with Guinevere, that he, like, there's a really nice scene where he says, like, listen, if you don't want to marry me, and that's okay. I'm like, I will still make sure your town is safe. I will still make sure your people are safe. Like, you don't have to do this to keep your people safe.
Like you were talking about, this movie does one of the things that is, like, often talked about in the other movies, but this idea of this, like, benevolent leader that is Arthur, this guy who rules from his heart with empathy for people and, believes in freedom for. I mean, I feel like Connery is playing that as a guy instead of, because that's always sort of the thing, is like, he's going to do it different. We talked about the sort of like hippie kind of notions that are in Camelot, the movie, right? Where it's all just like, we're going to do things differently, man. And this is a guy you just sort of see doing things differently. He doesn't talk about it. And you actually see him doing it.
He's very likable.
Yeah.
And you get why his people like him.
He's Sean Connery. I mean, they gain a lot from just that guy. There's a, like any movie star, there's a reason people were drawn to him. Yeah. And he's even older here. It's interesting that even though you would think like that she has more chemistry with Connery that you're talking about, because, I mean, what is it? Connery's 65 in this movie.
Yeah, and yet I'm still like, no, I think I'd rather choose him.
I mean, he was, was considered a silver fox at this period. He was still playing hunky dudes in movies. It's interesting. Yeah, it's just the movie. The pieces don't come together. Is sort of, I think, what we're talking about is the problem with this movie.
Yeah. They just, they don't.
So you kind of,
so you're like,
well, like I said, there's a lot of this where I'm like, after they get to, you get this, there's some stuff too that feels like it's just designed because we need set pieces, like the whole death trap scene where Lancelot goes through this like mechanical thing that's got like blades and saws and things to swing.
It's like medieval Ninja Warrior.
Yeah, it has a lot of that, right? Yeah. And, of course, no one can do it, and then he shows up, and he just rocks. He just kicks ass.
I feel like the people of Camelot just built this thing in the streets. And they're like, yeah, look what we did.
Gather round. You got a guy go, gather round, check it out.
Yeah, and I'm just like, what are we doing here?
Yeah. Gotta do
But
something.
yeah, Lancelot goes through it, and of course he goes through it without the armor that you're supposed to wear.
You're
to protect
crazy.
you, because
Yeah,
there
you
are,
can't.
like,
Yeah, blades and yeah.
swinging blades.
Yeah.
But of course he doesn't wear the armor.
And he does it just perfectly because he rules. But there is a certain, there's a coolness to Gere. Then I don't, and I mean that in a like in an actual like coldness sort of vein that makes him why he works so well as like yuppie kind of guys, these like slick professionals, but he doesn't have. I mean, Gibson would have been more fun in the part. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's the thing about it is I think about, like, he just kind of does this. He's very stoic. Maybe stoic is the word I'm looking for. Like, Gere has a stoicism that makes it hard for you to understand why she would be drawn to this guy because he is a little dull in this. Once again,
dull.
Gere is not always dull and stuff, and he can be very charming.
No.
But it's different than what is needed for this.
Yeah, he's very, like, casual.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's nothing that would make him particularly like stand out. I feel like to Guinevere.
Yeah.
As like, whoa, what's this guy up
Especially
to?
when you've got the charisma of a Connery, right? Like who's just
Yeah.
effortless on screen.
So yeah, it's weird.
It doesn't. Yeah. I said I don't want.
This
Yeah. I mean,
doesn't-
it really is just like, man, he just was the wrong guy. It's not like I said. It's not. I don't. There's nothing he could have done. It's not like, man, he was really.
No.
He really didn't seem to
No.
care. No, it's just like he's doing the best he can with what they've given him.
Yeah, and he just doesn't fit, and so
Yeah.
he's trying.
And
but it's
like I
just
said, the
not
movie also those like you just sort of are like then you're like waiting around, right? And you're just like, and then it's like, and Malagant has taken Guinevere, and you know, Lancelot's got to jump in the water and hang onto the side of a boat, and you know.
Yeah, they do this water attack.
Yeah.
His men. They pretend they have a boat sail up to Camelot, and they pretend it's. I think it's the guy that she's friends with from her village.
Oh, John
John
Gielgud. We should mention the legendary Sir John Gielgud is in this movie as that character.
Yeah, I think he's like he's not her father, but he's been around since her birth, and they're very close.
You would know John Gielgud, Kinsey, as the butler in Arthur.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, amongst a million things, and a legendary. I will say the one thing that, and he is talking about Jerry Zucker. Apparently, it was noted later that he found Jerry Zucker, quote, very annoying on set.
That's funny. Yeah, and he's got nothing to do.
He does not.
He
does not.
He's kind of around.
He just kind of shows up every once in a while and goes like, "Oh dear,"
and it's like, "Oh, you're doing well, Guinevere. Your father would be proud."
Yeah,
and that's his whole part.
Yeah. According to letters and interviews, Gielgud found director Jerry Zucker extremely annoying. Apparently, was the.
Oh wow! Yeah. Extremely annoying.
Yeah. This was the third movie he had done with Connery, though.
Oh wow.
Oh well, no, sorry. Yeah, this is the third. I mean, they're both in Dragonheart, but I mean, Connery did the voice, but they're both in 1974's Murder on the Orient Express together.
Oh, okay.
So.
Yeah. But yeah, I think they pretend it's him in the boat, and then the boat comes up to Camelot, and
they just kind of grab her
down to see him, and they grab her, and then soldiers come out of the water.
Yeah. There's a lot of stealth attacks. Malagant is quite the like covert ops guy.
Yeah, he's crafty. He is crafty.
But then I do, and that's why I do like the scene later when Arthur outsmarts him, though.
Yes, I was happy to see that because there's a scene later where it looks like Arthur's men have set up camp in this area, and he does this like sheep attack where his men are hiding behind sheep and they pop out. But Arthur's men aren't there; they're in the forest. And I was glad because I was like, "Oh man, they're not gonna fall for another one of these, right?
Mm-hmm. And they don't.
Like that would be embarrassing. And they don't. And that's a cool scene where you see them attack and they're not there, and then they go to the forest and you see all of Arthur's men light up arrows and you just see the fire go across.
Yeah.
And that's a really cool scene.
Yeah, that's probably the best scene in the movie, because I will say the end of the movie is pretty meh. The end
of the movie was
the climactic action sequence is pretty boring.
Yeah.
Surprisingly.
It has a great build up, and you're like, yeah, and then it's like,
yeah, because at the end of the movie, we get all the stuff we always get. He walks in on he walks in on Lancelot and Guinevere making out, and it's a great reaction from Connery. The devastation and heartbreak in him, but then it goes to this trial, which is, of course, I will say this is kind of Arthur being stupid. Like, of course, let's gather everyone for this big trial, and of course that's when Malagant takes Camelot.
Yeah, it is interesting, or at least I was surprised by just how easily he got into Camelot.
Yeah,
did we take all the guards?
Everybody apparently came to this every single person is here, and oh shit, we weren't watching the walls.
Yeah, they just stopped. They seem to just stop protecting the castle for this trial, which is like, what are we doing?
Drop the ball there.
Whoops.
Sorry about that.
Yep.
Oop.
So he just easily gets in here.
So you do get this cool, and it's a cool moment from Connery. The whole thing about he's like, all right, we've got you surrounded. There's nothing you can do. Turn the kingdom over to me. And Connery acts like he's kneeling and he's going to turn over his sword, but then he tells everyone to fight. But then he just gets shot.
You just get shot, and you're like, oh man.
And it just leads to this. It just leads to this mostly one-on-one duel between Malagant and Lancelot, and you're like, yeah, but do these two really have an issue with each other? I mean, they do, but really?
Really?
Yeah, that's Arthur's nemesis. So the idea that you're just kind of going I mean, all right.
And then Lancelot knocks his sword, Malagant's sword up into the air.
Yeah.
And you think he's going to do the thing that he's been doing where he catches it, but no, he just stabs him with his sword, and I don't even know where Malagant's sword goes. We never see it land.
I do find a funny thing here that this scene was shot with CGI blades, so they just have hilts on set, right? So this is done a lot.
Yeah.
And apparently when they went in and did the VHS full screen, there were the full screen tape. There were shots where it was just them holding the hilts of the swords.
Oh no!
Yeah,
it's like the cats with the human hands.
Yeah, it was apparently, because when they changed the aspect ratio, it brought instead of going wide, it went high, and so there were things that changed the aspect ratio, and so it made it you could see that they didn't have blades on their swords in a couple places, not like the whole scene, just in a couple shots, but still you're like, yikes.
People will notice that.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
That's confusing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a mistake you don't want.
No, certainly not. Certainly not. Yeah, so I did think that was funny. But yeah, then you just kind of go, and then you get, this really isn't doing the tragedy of Arthur like all the other stuff, because at the end, Arthur dies, and you get this long scene where he's dying. He's like, hey, you're the guy. You're the man now, Lancelot. Where he's just
I said when we were watching it that
they should have given it to Liam Cunningham.
Cunningham's character, you're like, what the hell? I have been here for years.
What is this?
Right
shit,
at your
man?
side, and you just hand it to this guy?
What the what? Yeah.
Yeah, I never kissed your wife.
Yeah, and Lancelot just showed up. They made him a Knight of the Round Table a day ago.
A couple days.
Yeah.
It seems like he's getting promoted awfully fast.
Yeah. Yeah.
What are we doing, Arthur? What are we doing?
And so he's like, take care of Camelot. Yeah, you're in charge of Camelot. You're gonna take my wife, and peace out, man. And so he sails off on his Viking funeral barge.
Yep, and they shoot the arrow and light it on fire.
Yep.
and then it ends.
Yeah, and the movie's over, and you just kind of like the ending is really just you're sort of like, okay,
Yep, that is kind of actually like, okay.
yeah, it's
I guess that's the end.
it's sort of a disappointing ending too. Yeah, the
It
movie's
is,
just
yeah.
not. I remember liking it as a kid, but I mean, not like a ton. I haven't seen it in 20 plus years easily. And it's just okay. It's not. No one needs to be embarrassed by it per se.
No,
But it's just kind of forgettable.
just doesn't quite work.
Watching it again, they were like, oh, I kind of remember this scene, but then a lot of it was just like, oh right, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's check in with what my favorite film critic of all time, Roger Ebert, thought of the picture.
Okay,
He gave it 2 out of 4 stars.
that's fair.
Yeah, and basically is with us that Connery and the sets, like the set design and stuff, are the best things in the movie.
Yeah, easily.
He brings up that it's unfortunate that this came out the same year as both Braveheart and Rob Roy, which is a movie I love with Liam Neeson, which are other better like medieval swashbuckling. I mean, Braveheart isn't really swashbuckling, but like medieval action battle movies. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, it's tough.
That this came out, anyway, but yeah, he just like he just is sort of like, I mean, he kind of has our reaction. There's a lot of like, nah.
Yeah. I'm not gonna get super worked up about it and angry about it. It's just like, it doesn't.
Yeah,
doesn't
and he
work.
gets on Gere more for like, I just can't get invested in this guy.
You can't.
Yeah. So
you can't. I mean, that's accurate. You can't get invested in that character.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah. He just said, I just don't. I was never convinced by the attraction. He says for either, that she feels for either of them. And yeah. So he didn't love it, and he's just like, whatever. I kind of agree.
Yeah. That's not to like scream at or anything, or
no.
It's not like that. It's just sort of like, no, it's just not there.
Yeah, I do agree with the one review also that says Connery is perfect for the King Arthur role. Too bad he isn't given more to do than stand around looking regal.
Yeah,
he does. He has this.
They could have done more.
Yeah, because I was saying like, well, he is older, but I was saying this to you. I go like, well, I guess he is older, but then I thought, wait, the next year he does The Rock, and he's kicking a ton of ass in that movie. So
no, he definitely could have.
He's
done
not
more.
like an elderly man here. He's 65 and he's still in good shape, and he still does a couple more action movies, because he does Entrapment as well.
It's disappointing that he doesn't do more.
It's just it's a shame. This movie is just a missed opportunity more than anything. Yeah. Let's talk about how it did at the box office. The movie so it cost $55 million. It made 127.6 worldwide.
Okay.
But only 37 in the U.S.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so it
not a big hit here.
No. So where do you think that landed in the top 200 box office? 100. What did I say? 127.
The top 200.
Yeah, and it's in the. I mean, obviously, it made some. So I have the top 200 here, but where do you think it landed?
I don't know, like in the 20s.
No, a lot higher than that. It's it came in at number 6 of the year worldwide. Yeah. Just below Pocahontas.
Okay.
And just above Ace Ventura: When Nature Calls.
Okay, I've seen both of those.
The top 5 movies, it's an interesting top 5. It's a number 1 movie that would never be a number 1 movie today. A movie that probably wouldn't even come out in theaters today, which is David Fincher's Seven, was the highest grossing film of the year.
Nope. Not because it's bad, it just...
No, that kind of movie, yeah, the super dark serial killer. No.
Nope.
That's a Netflix thing today.
That would be, yep.
Yeah, that movie was smash. But yeah, people were.
So weird.
It's just a good movie, but yeah, people were into it. Number 2 was Toy Story, which we definitely saw.
Whoa.
Yeah.
We definitely saw that.
Yeah, Apollo 13 was 3rd.
Okay, great movie.
something I did go see and was my
Big year for Tom Hanks there.
yeah, he had the second and third there.
Apollo 13.
The big movie I was hyped for that summer though, and did go to the first day it came out. And in fourth place was Batman Forever.
Yep, that was big for you.
Yeah, that was
Batman
one of the first movies I ever like followed the hype for, watched all the press and stuff like that. It was just big, like
That makes sense.
it's
Not
Batman
surprising
Forever.
at all.
Yeah, not only was it a Batman movie, but it was the first time that Robin was going to be in a movie and stuff like that. I was psyched. I had all the merch. I was all about that movie. Unlike now, where I don't follow any Batman movie that comes out.
Not really.
All right, let's do some highs and lows before we get out of here. All right, this comes to us from IMDb user Clyde Frog.
Okay.
And title of the review is A Beautiful and Touching Movie. I am proud to say this movie is among my top 15 of all time. Along with The Godfather 1 and 2. Oh, God. Along with The Godfather 1 and 2, Shawshank Redemption, Amadeus, and It's a Wonderful Life. That's a wild, wild grouping.
I guarantee this is the only time First Night has ever been brought up alongside those movies.
Mm-hmm. It is not a chick flick, nor is it an empty-headed Richard Gere movie. This movie is a compelling love triangle between King Arthur, Guinevere, and Lancelot, while also being an exciting action-adventure involving a traitor to Camelot who threatens to destroy it literally and figuratively. Sean Connery is perfectly cast and superb as King Arthur. Richard Gere is often criticized as a poor choice for Lancelot because of his age, but come on! The whole story is a medieval fantasy. If Gere is 8 or 10 years older than he really should be in the movie, who cares? We're not telling a true story here. He seems a little awkward to choice in the beginning, but ultimately gives a great, fantastic at times performance. Julia Ormond is who really elevates this movie. She is stunning and radiant as Guinevere, the compassionate and brave Lady of Lyoness. Every medieval word and mannerism she produces is believable. Action fans will not be disappointed as this film has some amazing sequences, especially when Richard Gere runs the gauntlet. Zucker really lets go in the battles. Also, Ben Cross plays a great villain. The end of the movie is one of the more moving scenes I've ever seen. The performances by Connery, Ormond, and Gere up to that point make what could have been silly or forced seem touching and beautiful. First Night is a great and underrated film not to be missed. It is a simple story that doesn't require a lot of analysis or understanding of folklore and mythology to enjoy. Give it a chance. 10 out of 10 stars.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Like, don't analyze it.
Yeah.
Don't analyze it.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to.
Yeah.
Also, just have a weird shot at Richard Gere movies.
Yeah. Normally he's so stupid.
An empty-headed Richard Gere.
Yeah, one
movie,
of his, one of those
Why?
stupid Gere movies.
Why?
Gere's been in a lot of great movies. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, that was just like a weird, like, what are you doing there?
All right, let's hear. This comes to us from Bill 202.
Okay.
Title of the review: So much blue.
Oh, what?
A boring.
Oh, there's a lot of blue. They wear everyone in Camelot kind of wears blue.
Yeah, I mean that's a choice. I actually really like the costumes. I like the knights.
It was a nice shade of blue.
Yeah,
they were nice outfits.
I mean, it's a little comic booky, which I of course like, but yeah, but the idea that they all wear like the same outfit is very like X-Men-y or whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, a boring, turgid interpretation of the Arthurian legend. If you're looking for Merlin, Excalibur, and the Holy Grail, don't look here. Don't bother looking for an attempt to create a more realistic historical viewpoint of ancient Britain either. This film is all about the love triangle between Arthur, Guinevere, and Lancelot. The casting is atrocious. I love almost every performance of Sean Connery's I've ever seen, but he was not meant for this film. He's just too old. Kings may have often chosen much younger women to be their brides, but King Arthur, as a dirty old man, just doesn't jive with the legend. Richard Gere as Lancelot is also completely wrong. He could have at least tried to fake a British accent. It's not that difficult. If Madonna can do it, I'm sure he could. Besides the casting director, the person who designed the set should also have been fired. Camelot Night looks more like Las Vegas than medieval castle lit by candles. I'm not usually one to be bothered by details like that, but it's truly distracting. Not nearly as distracting as the excessive use of the color blue, though. The clothes are blue, the castle spires are blue, the furniture is blue. Blue everywhere. It's the only memorable part of the movie, and the only enjoyment I got out of the film was watching to see what else would turn up blue. It's supposed to be the Kingdom of Camelot, not the Kingdom of the Smurfs. 1 out of 10 stars.
What? Why is he so angry at the color blue?
Yeah, I mean it's a chosen like
What
visual, it's a color palette they really commit to.
It did not bother me.
No, I don't.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a lot. There's a lot going on there. He is
angry
not
young man.
With first night. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I mean it's once again. Yeah, it never plays as that to me. It
really doesn't.
Yeah, because he's always so kind to her and once again, like to your point, stuff like that. He's like, you don't have to marry me. It never really plays as he's like, yeah, I'm gonna get me a young girl.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't come off that way at all. So that I was just like, you're
just a dirty old man, Arthur.
I also like that he brought up if Madonna can do it.
Yeah, quite famously poorly. Anyway.
My goodness.
Yeah. So that's first night. A noble misfire, I would say. So we're gonna jump almost a full decade for next week's episode, and go to the mid 2000s with 2004's very cleverly titled King Arthur.
Okay.
And this is the Jerry Bruckheimer produced, Antoine Fuqua directed King Arthur, starring Clive Owen as King Arthur. And I'll leave you, as I always do, with the tagline, which once again is very indicative of what they were going for. The untold true story that inspired the legend.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I've seen it.
Mm-hmm. This one is really, in my memory, this one really leans into, this is an action movie first and foremost. That's Bruckheimer.
What I remember about it.
This is a big old fight picture.
Yes, there's a lot of action.
Yeah. I mean, once again, and was, of course, meant to be the first of a series. We'll talk about these next two. The last two we're talking about are both, we're supposed to be franchise starters.
Yeah.
And I just don't think anyone cares. Hot take. That will be my overarching opinion for those. Regardless of the quality of the movies, I just don't think people are dying to see a 5-movie King Arthur thing. It just seems like there just isn't interest. But,
No.
But
I mean, people watch it on TV. I mean, Merlin went, I think, 5 seasons.
Yeah, but that's obviously way different. But yeah, this idea that I think both of these took this idea. I mean, obviously, particularly the last one we'll talk about, took this idea about there are knights of the round table. There's a bunch of knights who are part of a group, sort of like how there are superheroes like the Avengers who are part of a group. I wonder, it's like not the same thing though. Not really the same thing.
It's different. It's definitely different.
So we'll talk all about 2004's King Arthur next week on the show. But of course, if you want to check out more from us, be sure to head over to our Patreon page, which is patreon.com/punchupent. That's punchupent. Get cool exclusive bonus content, as well as help out all the shows on the Punch Up Entertainment Network. And make sure you follow us on YouTube. That's youtube.com/@punchupentertainment. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, ring that bell for notifications, and never miss an episode of any of our shows. But that's going to do it, I think. So until next week, the case file is closed.